Hello grapplers and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to talk about a few things that are very special about Zangief. Crouching light kick, as you know, is -3. However, the spacing of crouching light kick, especially two crouching light kicks, is very strange for Zangief. Let me show you something. If you do this, headbutt one crouching light kick into another headbutt, I am gonna hit Luke. Headbutt pulls the Hurtbox a little bit back. I'm gonna talk about that in a few seconds. The thing is, if you do the same thing, but instead we're gonna change to count 2, because this is not a true block string, and we use crouching light punch and I try to do the same thing, I get hit. And this happens in a lot of situations with Zangief where 1 or 2 crouching light kicks actually space you to go into either medium punch or headbutt. This is a risk, of course, because you're using a -3 move, so technically you are super minus over here. But for some reason the spacing is very beneficial for Zangief, so you can do wild stuff that otherwise you shouldn't get with a move that is actually minus. Standing heavy punch is 16 frames, however the armor of a standing heavy punch starts at frame 4. You can use it as a 4-framer. I'm gonna be +1 for my crouching light punch. If we go for a standing heavy punch and we hold slightly, I'm hitting Luke. This is very interesting. If they decide to do nothing, which is something that can happen, you're gonna be -3. Here you can go, assuming you think the opponent is gonna take their turn, you can do a perfect parry, try to go for this, or go maybe into super level 3. Because in this game, being -3 up close is not necessarily losing completely your turn. Crouching light kick is a little bit unreliable sometimes as a frame trap, so you can technically do this, and that is also a 2-frame frame trap. Here you start seeing the potential of doing something like this, because you have a +3-2 from driver's crouching medium punch. It is a very useful button and is required for you to learn how to do the slightly standing heavy punch like this, because you have armor compared to just tapping the standing heavy punch. Certain situations, very specific situations, let's say if Zangief is in burnout and the opponent goes for a dry reversal, this is extremely common. You'll see that Zangief, if this ever happens to you, you'll see that this is -2. And here your options are very limited, because you can only go for a crouching light kick, the opponent can be waiting for a Shoryuken or something. In this case, well, this is very specific also because Luke has a kick dry reversal, so the opponent has to have a kick dry reversal. That means you can cancel, for example, this into Tundra. You can do this without the cancel, just using lights to do the Tundra on reaction too. If this happens and you are not in burnout, you might as well just block it and take the SPD. I mean, for sure. Your jumping attacks do 800. Jumping heavy, 800. Jumping heavy kick, 800. Obviously, this is a huge exception because you have to charge the drop kick. But usually these two deal 800. Neutral jump headbutt is 900. Whenever you have the chance to go for a jumping normal, always use jumping headbutt, because this will change at the very least between 50 to 100 points, whatever combo you go for. I mentioned before that some buttons push Zangief Hurtbox back, and those 3 buttons are standing medium punch, headbutt, and holding slightly or fully the standing heavy punch. This means that in certain moments where you're poking the opponent and you might think they want to take their turn back, especially from lights or mediums, especially medium punches, you can set up some situations where the standing medium punch connects. The most common one is doing 1 crouching light punch into standing medium punch. This usually beats a lot of crouching light punches, crouching light kicks, or standing or crouching medium punches. This is not a frame trap. This is just you poking with a button that pushes you a little bit back. Obviously they can go for a reversal, they can parry, DI. This is not real. And the same thing applies to this, which I think overall is a little bit better, if not for the fact that you can lose to lows with the standing heavy punch. But this overall is something I prefer to do. But you need to mix it up with this and obviously headbutt. That's the reason why you see so many Zangief players do this sometimes, because it is harder for certain buttons to reach Zangief, especially on block due to the pushback of crouching light punch. However, again, you can do this, which might be better, honestly, even though weirdly you're gonna be technically minus from crouching light kick, but objectively this might be way better. I always laugh at crouching heavy punch. This button is just bizarre. It's one of the buttons that I wish change in the next season. Maybe making it a better anti-air or canceling to super low 1. Those are the things we all want. At the moment, one thing that is not necessarily something that people do is that technically it is one of the best punish counters in the corner due to the mix of damage meters you use. That means this combo is actually extremely optimal because all the other options burn more meter. You do get more damage, but not necessarily the Oki you get from this sequence specifically. The only thing you have to be aware of is that sometimes the crouching heavy punch does not allow to go into hell stab due to the weird recovery of this button. This is 35, so you have to be extremely close. In order for you to get this combo, you have to hit them immediately after they bounce. If you wait just a tiny second, you will get only one spin of the lariat, so you need to do it immediately. There you go. The potential standing heavy kick punish counter is something I already mentioned several times. By this point, I think this would be the third time I've mentioned this. I'm not gonna go in depth, there are already videos for that, but it is kinda wild. This button allows Zangief to juggle so much. Even more than this, or the Smetana dropkick, or the fully charged dropkick. It is just a lot of juggle points. You can really get creative with the juggles, which is something that is not common for Zangief to do. Being so free with the juggles with a character like this. The only Zangief player I know at the moment that goes for stomps is Coupon. It can be used for resets. However, in order for you to get it, you need at least a +9, which is not something that Zangief gets every day. So you are pretty limited, but you can do this. From that, you're +10. That means you can go into a Stomp and be +4. From here, you do have a very interesting reset because you can go into heavy SPD for a very significant amount of damage considering you're starting your combo with lights. Or you can go into a normal throw, which would be safer, and since you're +4, you can go into Hell Stab if they try to press something or they try to escape with a jump or a backdash. You can also get this from buttons that are even more plus, like if you do something like this, you can also get the +4, and if you want to get the +8 version, you have to go from either Headbutt or Hell Stab into the Stomp. And this one is +8. Interestingly, this +8 allows you to go into Russian Suplex. You only have 2 frames to respond, so you either have to immediately jump or immediately backdash, otherwise they eat this. They can also, obviously, Shoryuken. Go for this, and the damage is not bad. And since you're +8, you can combo into Hell Stab. However, this is not recommended because the damage is not optimal. With that +8, you can go into a standing medium punch, which would be a frame trap, or a standing medium kick if you want. That's also a thing you can do. But you can use it besides the classics, which are just killing frames, or just using it like Coupon does, which is in resets. You can restand the opponent sometimes. I don't know if they're gonna change, specifically stomps. They might get buffed. Also, the pushback of crouching light kick is just something that is just weird. I don't know if they're gonna keep it. You can abuse it if the opponent doesn't know, so that's something, I guess. And maybe Tundra or crouching heavy punch will get some love in the next patch, because these two, in fact this, Stomp, crouching heavy punch, and Tundra are the 3 moves that are just hard to use generally. So we'll see. I don't know if this is gonna change at some point, but it's curious that they are there, and the things they're doing, I guess, can be useful for some matches. As always, take care of yourselves, keep playing grapplers, hydrate, go to the Siberia Lab on Twitch, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.